What do you say, baseball fans? Rye bread, talking baseball. Execute episode 66. Sorry, nerd alert. But you know how we do it here. The Emperor is watching, if you know what I mean. Such a dork. But there he is. He's a mean customer. Anyway, Rays went over yesterday, and we're picking them to do it again today, baby. Wacha's on the mound. His ERA's 6 at home. It's not sterling on the road. I like having Wacha around, especially in the relief role, but maybe getting him in there as the starter, getting him back in his routine, get him a little bit, back into his comfort zone might shake him loose. But man, that 6 ERA at home is tough. I don't expect him to see him for long. But for the over, it seems like every time he's in the game at home, he's given up a bomb. So I hope it doesn't necessarily happen. I'm hoping to get the runs for the over from Bruce Zimmermann. 4.83 ERA, 1.46 whip. Yikes. And the Rays' right-handed bats have been alive. So I'm looking for Yandy, doing a little work. Randy had the night off last night, so I'm thinking arrested Randy Arozarena. Hey-oh! Anyway, we're all over it. Had to say, we thought the correction was coming for Hill, but man, early, it didn't look like that was the case. Dude's dotting the I, floating curveballs up there like he's 27 years old. I mean, he looked sharp, man. And then the grand slam for the over. Thank you. And then the Rays win the game anyway. It's fantastic. That's great news. Bad news is I went to enter these two dudes. They both bombed yesterday, but I've tried to do it at 2 o'clock, and there was a 2 o'clock start, so it wouldn't let me enter the 4 o'clock games. Hosed. So pissed. But we're doing it again today. I'm just going to go right after as soon as they're starting. But that's what burned me last time. Bunch of day games. Oh, it hurt so bad. Oh, and it was the first inning, too, for Lindor. Lucchesi doesn't give up a bunch of bombs, but we're gonna ride it again anyway. Man, that was a heartbreaker. Heartbreaker! You know it. So, getting back to the Rays. Joey getting back involved. Manny staying hot. Hey, infield RBI, I'll take it. And then Brandon Lowe's hitting. He was due that overcorrection, and I think it's going to continue. He's not as poor as he was. Maybe he's not as dynamic as he showed in that 60-game regular season last year. That was a bit over his head. But this year, that's not him. He's a better hitter than he's shown. And all those guys are feeling the heat from Vidal Brujan and Wander Franco. How could you not? So, and my God, Durham won 11-0 last night. I mean, that team, it's not even fair. That Durham team would probably give some of the... How would you like to see the Diamondbacks versus the Durham Bulls? Man, I don't know. Depends on who's going. Bulls are looking sharp. I don't watch a lot of their games, but you can check their highlights. Durham Bulls, fun team, man. 11-0 last night. Wow. So it's all going in the right direction, including how the staff has bought into the approach. All these different guys getting saves, starting, going through the lineup twice. I'm really not seeing any reason to slow it down, especially with all the help that's on the way. Because some of these other teams that are feeling the injury bug don't have necessarily the depth that the Rays do. The Rays are deep, man. And I'm just hoping that young pitching is able to float us in the summer. Getting 80 innings or something, 60, 70 innings out of a lot of different guys. But you know we're all about it. We're taking the over again. It's over 8. And you know how we like even number overs now with that ghost runner. It's not like you're guaranteed a tie, but the chance of a tie exists when you have an even number for the over. Now, would I prefer 7.5? Yeah, but it's still just a little extra, and I don't know if that's exactly caught up with these over numbers. They are a little inflated, but not so much. And you're just giving yourself that extra spin, even if the game's, say, 3-3, and you've got the ghost runner. It's all hands on deck for that. So we are sweating unders, maybe a little more fun, but cheering those overs is also a good one. So we're all over that today. Have to mention that Jays Sox bomb fest yesterday. Bichette and Vladdy. What? I got a couple of Blue Jays to highlight here for you. How about this cat? Ooh, let's not go upside down. I like it. All the pro fathers were happy because all of their offspring went crazy yesterday. This blue back Diamond Kings Bichette blue parallel is a pretty card. And then this team set from 2020 for the Blue Jays is holding on to Bo's rookie in there. So the home run by Guerrero to open it, and then Bo's later, it was like bookend. And Biggio too. It was an all-out slugfest for the Blue Jays yesterday, and we just keep saying it, man. That lineup's deadly. And Springer hasn't even played for the most part. I mean, he had a couple games or something? He hasn't even played this year. Matt's looked good, 95, 96 up in the zone, and the curveball was working. But the shadows, I think, played a big part in that curveball fooling guys. Dudes were out of their shoes on that curveball. But Matt's did enough yesterday. He looked sharp, man. I don't remember him looking that sharp since maybe April. He started out the season. That's what he looked like. Jays are tough. Not going away. Today, actually, we're going to take the Yankees against the Phillies today. We're going to take the Yankees against the Phillies, even though it's Nola. Nola's ERA is a run higher than Domingo German's. Domingo German has been amazing for the Yankees. He came on a little bit late, and he had because of the domestic stuff. I mean, the guy's a scumbag, but it doesn't mean he's not pitching well. And the Phillies are busy being the Phillies right now, and that's why we're sweating our pick. We thought the pitching was going to carry him, but Nola's ERA, man, it's not where you'd think. He's an ace, but his ERA is not exactly what you think. And Domingo German's is a run better. And say what you will about the Yankees bats being sleepy, they're still dangerous. I'm just taking them. They're the underdog. And for some reason, it just feels like the Phillies are being the Phillies and the Yankees are starting. They have to surge. They have to. The way these other AL East teams are playing. So we'll be tuned into that one as well. Speaking about the division race, you know the National League is all about the National League West. And the Padres have a golden opportunity here. Giants battling a little bit of injury. And LA, the Dodgers just can't keep anybody healthy. So if you're the Padres, now's your chance to at least get up there with the Giants. I mean, the Giants, they won a close one, dropped a close one yesterday in a high school doubleheader. So I like the way the Giants are playing, clearly, but it's just remains to be seen. I still don't believe how well that pitching has performed. Like, everybody tries to do that to catch lightning in the bottle with these retread pitchers, hoping one of them is going to hit, but it's all working so far for the Giants. And frankly, it doesn't show any signs of slowing down. That staff ERA is gross. So LA's got some trouble, and they've been able to hang in there. They've got the star power to do it. But man, how many guys can get hurt? I mean, they're to the point where they're waiting on Yoshi Tsutsugo to get healthy so that he can help them out. That's not exactly the kind of depth that you would expect from the Dodgers. I'd expect a little more from a varsity letterman. But with that kind of dough, you'd think they'd be a little bit more buttoned up. But you can't account for this type of mass injury. It's going to happen, and I guess if you're the Dodgers, you want it to happen now rather than later. But man, tough for them. They've lost a lot of people. Seager's still out, the broken hand. Couple weeks at least for Seager. Bellinger left the game. The severity of that remains to be seen, but he's been gone with injury himself. So with Dustin May out for the long term, and just the pileup of injuries. Lux has been down, and now you've got Muncy with the oblique. That's a big blow. So I'm not worried about the Dodgers, but man, it's time for the Padres to really make some hay here if the Giants will let them. And I have to go and mention that substance thing. Major League Baseball can't get out of their own way on this substance thing, man. It's taken way too long, and it's dragging out so much. It's for a rule of theirs that has been in place for a long time. It shouldn't take this much to get that together. Hopefully they get it right, but I don't have any confidence in that because I've been watching Rays games and the replays in those games have just been stupid again. But I've been trying to stay positive and not get on the umpires every single time. But come on, man, the replay is not getting any better either. But on a positive note, we're going to be down in Florida next week. We're going to try and get some credentials to go to some Raves games and really get the content stepped up here. Really get some quotes, get some questions answered. And if we can put that together, obviously we'll open it up to you guys so I can ask some questions of the Rays. That's my goal here over the next week or two. So we'll get at you again. Don't forget, at RyeBread0844 on Twitter. If you're in St. Pete, Tampa, Clearwater, Bascom's Chop House, best steakhouse, best wine in the city. That wine list is off the chain. Tell them I sent you. You might get a little hookup. And then Bravo Beach Resort out there in Siargao Island, Philippines is where you want to be if you want to take that dream vacation. And I'll be out there at Fishtails of Homosassa. We might do some remotes, baby. That might be cool. So look forward to seeing you tomorrow. We're going to do a 162.